guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Safine and this is Safine TV. If you're new, hey girl, hey, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. So in this video, I showed you how to finally get my everyday affordable makeup tutorial. I've been meaning to do this for a while, so
can't believe I'm sitting thinking, do you love me not? 'Cause I really hit the spot, tastes like candy, sweet like juice. I let a boy try me, must have lost my screws. I almost lost my cool and lost time too, but I can't lose myself in trying to heal my do. I keep running back to you, and time again I look like a fool. 1 minute I'm done with you, the next minute I'm running back. Go your way, I go my way, but somehow I be still attached, trying to find the answers in the love. It ain't no truth in that. They be like I'm done for fucking with you, I still want you back. Saying no, I don't need you pouring foes.
here we are. So majority of the items are drugstore or can be found at Ulta. I have maybe 2 or 3 that's more on the high end. I try to use more affordable products. Majority of my base is affordable, but I do have a few things that I can't veer from because it keeps my face sitting all day. So this is the final look. It's very soft glam, appropriate for work, just an everyday vibe. So I just wanted to show you guys how I got this look. If you are interested to see how I got this look, or if you like my energy, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so you will get notified next time I post. So yeah, I haven't done a makeup tutorial in a minute. I think for the past couple videos it's only been hair, so I decided to do a makeup tutorial finally. So just stay tuned for the next one. And of course, this hair tutorial, this install to this hair, will be posted probably after this video, so stay tuned for that. And that's it. Stay golden, babes.
Pretty little girl, she no need. Pretty little girl, she no need no.
Alexa, play 850.
Makeup. Pretty little girl, she no need no. Pretty little girl, she no.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna hop right into it. I'm gonna take my NYX Plump Right Back primer, and I also mixed my travel size Fenty Pro Filter True Matte. I smeared that all over my face. Then what I did is I went ahead and sprayed my face with the Milk Hydrating Primer, and then once I was satisfied with how dry it was, I did go ahead and take my Maybelline Super Stay Active Wear in the shade Coconut. I did put it on the back of my hand and then use like a foundation brush to apply that. It does look like a lot of product, but once you start actually using your brush or your sponge to press that into your skin, it actually really just slides onto your skin. I love this one. I had the original one, but I tried the active one. I personally are not really that active. I work at an office, so I normally just sit down all day. But I feel like this is a good good foundation if you are someone that is working now, not even working now, but you're active. So if you do a job where you're always moving around and you're in the sun, anything like that, I feel like this would be the perfect foundation for you. It is very mattifying, but it still looks very fresh on your face. And when I say the skin match is top tier, the skin match is top tier, as you can see in the video. It does very much give skin. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Juvia's concealer in the shade 10, I believe. No, in the shade 11. So I do the TikTok placement, then I take a brush from Morphe and I just brush that into my skin. So this is more of a concealer that matches my foundation. It's more clear. It's not as bright. I use this one first. Depending on if I wanted to go super bright, I do it this way, so that way the under eye isn't looking super scary. It is more on the everyday vibe. So if you're into something where you just don't really want bright under eye, then this would be the perfect shade if you are in my shade range. I would recommend these concealers. I wear them all the time. I have never had any complaints with the Juvia's. They last all day. they like, you just need to let them sit for a little bit, and even if you let them sit for a good little minute, it's still easier to blend out, unlike some concealers. Then I take my sponge just to make sure that everything is blended into my skin. There's no harsh lines. I do this multiple times in the process of applying makeup, because I realized that the brush helps me out a lot, but once I use a damp beauty blender to like really set that into my face, it's just chef's kiss. So now I'm going to actually brighten under my eye. So I still take the Juvia's, but in the shade 16, and then in the middle portions of that, I do use the Makeup Revolution C1, so it gives me a more of a bright under eye, and I really like the bright under eye look. I've always liked the bright under eye look, but it took me a while to master it because sometimes it was looking very scary and very flashback friendly, and I do not like flashback. So while I let that sit for a little bit, I did go ahead and take my Juvia's concealer in the number 6 to do a contour. I just placed it over those places that I used, and I used the brush to blend it out. I like this brush a lot. It is from Morphe. It came out with their foundation that they dropped, I believe, last year, and I use it now for my contour. It really helps it. It's because the way the brush is shaped, it really fits into the crevices of your cheek. So if you're looking for a good contour brush, this would be perfect for that. I really do like it, and of course it also helps me blend out any excess foundation. So right here, I'm just making sure I do my jaw area so it gives more of a sculpting effect. So I do that first because that gives me enough time to allow the concealers to fully set before I brush them out. So I tried a new method, which using this tiny brush. It is also from Morphe. Majority of my brushes are from Morphe. It's also from Morphe. It's with their new line that they dropped. They just dropped a new, I believe a couple months ago, they dropped a newer line of concealers and foundation. So this is their concealer brush. Now after a while I realized it looked really scary and it didn't look blended, so I just ended up taking my my sponge and used that to really blend it out. Now this is sped up, really sped up, but honestly I took my time with this part. I took my time. When I say I took my time, baby, I took my time. So if you are adding all this product that you see me adding on, I would recommend really blending out your process. Like every time, every step you take, make sure it's fully blended. I recommend using a sponge, even if you use brushes. I use brushes and sponge. Brushes are really what my prime focus is, and then I'll use a sponge just to make sure everything is seamless, because again, if you are wearing this for like going out, or you know, where an area where you know you're gonna be taking pictures, you do not want to be casket ready. That's not a cute look, and I know right now I look very casket ready, but we are gonna fix it. We are definitely going to fix it. As you saw in the intro, it was snatched. So I also use the excess concealer to chisel out my cheeks. Now I'm going to go ahead and contour a little bit more. Like I stated, I do notice that I was looking very casket ready, so I put a little bit where I would put my my contour before, and I also did my nose. So those two things really helped me bring back color to my face, because I realized that the concealer was really bright. I feel like I put a little bit too much on there this time, so a little bit goes a long way with these products. I just keep that in mind. Sometimes I get a little heavy-handed, so I have to do a little bit more work to make sure that it does come out very seamless and blended. Keyword is blended. So after I did that, I make sure everything was blended. I touched on those harsh lines to make sure it was actually seeping through my skin. And then I believe after that, I did go ahead and start doing my nose contour. Oh no, not yet. So I end up using a blush. This is a cream blush from NYX's Sweet Cheeks in the shade Coralicious. So it's a peach color. I really have been liking peach in the spring/summer. I normally use like pinkish tones, but I wanted to do like a peach shade, so I already had that in my stash, so I wanted to try it out. I tried this color a couple of days ago, and I really like the way it came out. So I think I'm going to be gravitating towards this color more in the springtime, spring/summer. And then now you just see me use a Real Technique brush to make sure my nose contour is blended out properly, because I let it sit for a little bit. Then I'm taking my sponge to again act as another barrier to assist me with blending. So like I said, I go back and forth between brushes and sponges. I initially always use brushes and I go into sponges. Now again, I'm using my foundation brush to make sure everything's seamless, because all the products are not on my face. All the cream products are not on my face. So again, like I stated before, I do take my time. So now I'm going to hop into setting my face. So I do set it with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 30. I use that to just dust it all over the places that I highlighted. So whatever I use concealer on, I make sure I use that on my face. I still bake. I'm very into baking. I feel like it lets my makeup last all day. Majority of the time, I'm always out of my house for like 12 plus hours, and my makeup never really shifts. I might have a little bit of oil, but that's just because my skin is combo, and sometimes the oils are just going to come out no matter what. So, but other than that, my face is normally sitting all day, and that's why I recommend using the pressed powder and then baking. So what I did, I go ahead and I baked it with this is actually mixed. I mixed it with my Laura Mercier in the shade Honey, and then my Huda Beauty in the shade Kunafa. So I mixed those together, and then once I mix them together, I use a damp sponge to press that into my skin. Once it's been sitting for a couple minutes, I go ahead and take this brush and buff the product into my skin. I don't dust it away, I press it into my skin. Now, like I stated before, it's giving very much casket ready, so we're gonna fix that, because baby, we can't go out like that, period. So now I'm taking my Juvia's contour duo in the shade Dark. I use that first shade that I showed you to bronze my face. I do go back to this powder later, but I like to bronze my face first, and then I'll do a contour once I put some color back onto my skin. So this is right here is just going to assist you guys with like making sure you're adding coverage and bringing your skin back to life, because again, if you bake, it does, like, you know, it makes you a lot lighter than you really are. And I'm just taking that same shade and contouring my nose with a slimmer brush to make sure that my nose contour is good to go. Like I stated in previous videos, I love nose contouring. It like brings my makeup together. Nose contouring and baking are my favorite parts of my makeup. It's weird, but those are my favorite parts. So that's what I'm doing right here. And now I'm taking my L'Oreal Infallible foundation powder in the shade 330. After I was satisfied with how my bronzing looked, I went ahead and did that to again bring more color back into my skin, prevent it being from casket ready. So I'm just spraying my Pixie by Petra spray. I also sprayed Makeup Revolution spray. I'm not sure which one I used. I let my skin dry up a little bit. Now I'm actually going to contour. So I'm still using the same dark bronzing duo. I just mix both of them together, and I used more of a dense brush to contour. Again, like as you can see, there's the color starting to come back to my face. I took my band of my band off, so that way I can put that color in on top of my forehead, because I don't use any liquid powders on my forehead. I use just that powder. And I'm making sure my nose contour is fully snatched, because again, your girl loves snatched nose. So now I'm taking my Juvia's blush duo, and I have the volume 1. I got the volume 1 because it does have that peach shade, and at first I tried to use the pink shade, and I didn't really like it. It was very bright, and again, like I said, I've been really into peach, so that's what I did right there. Then I just took a brush to blend everything out, and now I'm using that Maybelline powder to basically give that sharp edge. And now after keeping it for a couple minutes, I did go ahead and wipe that off with my Infallible, and then I sprayed my Charlotte Tilbury. Again, this is one of the products that is very much overpriced, but it is amazing. I then, when my face was semi-dry, I went ahead and pressed that powder that I use all over my face into my skin, and now I'm using my Makeup Revolution to spray my face. After it's sprayed, I go ahead and, you know, dry that out. And then I'm using the highlighter from Makeup Revolution, and it's called Make It Impact. I only highlight my nose. I'm not really into highlight on my cheeks anymore. That time has passed. I just do it on my nose. So now I'm taking my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder in the shade Fair, just to give a little bit more oomph on the brightness under my eye. And after I'm done with that, I'm pretty much done with my face, I believe. Yes. So now I'm done with my face. I just added some more powder. I just added my moles back on my face using the liner by NYX. Now I'm taking my Juvia's liner, and I believe Cola. Yes, Cola, to line my lips. I take my time lining my lips. I don't really overline my lips, but I do line my lips, and I shade in the sides of it so that the lipstick only sets in the middle part, if that makes sense. And after that, after I'm satisfied, I do use The Lady by Juvia's. It's their lipstick line. And then on top of that, I use Starfish, I believe, by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that pretty much completes my look. If you do like this look, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and hit that bell so you know what time next time I post. And stay golden, babes. Mwah.